everyone, Dunamis here again with another tabletop simulator tutorial. This time we'll be doing BattleTech Alpha Strike. I debated doing this video for a while now because one of the main components of this mod uses the master unit list, which is changing soon. So at some point this mod will break and will have to be updated, and you'll see why. But it's related to all of the images for the AlphaStrike cards that we pull. So you'll see where that will break, and we'll fix it when it happens. But we'll need a replacement, so there could be a little bit of a time gap between when master unit list goes down and a replacement comes back up. But in the meantime, we'll show what we're dealing with now, and hopefully that'll also show you what it eventually will look like long term. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my mods here. Go ahead and open BattleTech Alpha Strike, or AS in parentheses, and this will bring up the mod. So just like my other mods here, the whole goal here is to set up a game and play quickly in Tabletop Simulator. So it's really to reduce the setup time and get you spending more time running around, shooting your mechs, and doing all the fun stuff like that. My group used this to play the Hotspot campaign for Hinterlands last year, and very shortly we'll be starting up the Draconis Reach one, so the second Hotspot book. I guess I should also say pending any big rule changes coming, because as we know, the new rulebook is not that far away. So this is really kind of a sandbox environment to get you going here to do things like that. It handles a lot of the tedious setup and some of the dice rolling just to keep things moving, while leaving a lot of the actual decision making to the players in terms of tactical combat. So I think the last one I tried to use Megamech as an example of something that's super automated, really streamlines the play. I'm not aware of a Megamech for AlphaStrike, but I guess AlphaStrike is already pretty streamlined, so this could be up your alley if you're looking for a quicker version of BattleTech that still has some automation and streamline built in. Before we get too far into it, I do want to say kudos and credit go to Breaktime. A lot of the stuff here is inspired by him and was originally created by him, and I just kind of modify it for how my group plays. He does have several mods out there, and I do recommend checking out his fully integrated BattleTech mods as an alternative for both AlphaStrike and Classic. Yeah, dude totally knows what he's doing. So let's go ahead and just go through a quick overview of what's on this table here. So just starting in both opposite corners here, these are just kind of reference sheets just to help you see some of the common rules and things you might need to refer to in the AlphaStrike rulebook. So you see I pulled basically the whole appendix out of the Commander's Edition book. That's what's here. This is just kind of a simple attack modifier table. So these three are kind of simpler versions. This one's the full book. As you move over, these are if you want to use your own cards. You would simply, right click on it, change the image to the source on master unit list or something like that. So these are just basically a template that has these buttons on it, and you could simply check them off as you go through. And of course, you would only use the ones when you load your image that are actually shown. So like you can see 5 armor, 4 internal structure. You can do it for hover cars, you can do it for mechs, battle armor, and support vehicles. And so each one has different layout of where the criticals are, or heat scale, which is why there are 4 different versions here. Just in front of us here, basically your typical dice if you wanted to pull these out and show them. So standstill, movement, jumping, and sprinting. This is just a little token I like to have here to color or highlight, I guess, my mechs just to make it easier to tell where they are, the force they're on. I think I have this same stuff over here in the Classic BattleTech mod. This is just other resources if you wanted to pull in like turrets, battle armor. You got vehicles, some mechs. More just here if you need it. You may not need all this stuff, but it's just there if you do need it. Another member of our group spent a lot of time building a lot of the Hinterlands maps one hex at a time here. Um, I think they work pretty solid. That's actually what we used for the entire Hinterlands campaign. Put the links to his mods here. We have the supply point usage points here. I think they're just called supply points. But these are the cards, just so, if you want to know, I've got 6 points. I want to remember what I took. You can just clone a couple, bring them over, and then what we do is as we use them, just flip them over. Battlefield support, there we go. Supply points, battlefield support, close enough. Not really, but battlefield support, there you go. Individual dice if you want to bring your own over for some reason. These bags will be used automatically by some of the scripting. You'll see kind of how that works. They'll go nicely with the number pads here, or number pad shortcuts, I should say, down here. Objective markers, just different tokens if your group uses them. Bubble rings that can kind of give you a range. So just go like this, for example. See how this thing's here. Drop it, it's off 16 inches. Those are kind of useful. We've got bag of effects. I'm not going to open it here just because it could spaz out. Maybe if I just pull one. Yeah, so lightning ball, not bad. But victory point counters for blue team, red team, so on and so forth. A dice roller that was, again, inspired by Breaktime. I made a few changes, but some mostly minor, just help critical stand out and help switch between multiple d6 versus pilot die. So depending on which system you play, I imagine most people use multiple. So you just kind of, say I want 5 dice. It's going to pull randomly from bags that you can see, boom, 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 hidden into the table underneath. And then it summarizes and counts 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's showing you the ones that go over, because what you really care about is how many of my pips hit, right? So if I do 8 damage with an attack, I attack looking for 6s or higher. That's 5 that go through of my 8. See if I can get a critical to show, just to see if it grabs our attention. Yeah, boom, there we go. Thank you, Mark. Yeah. So there's your critical, flashes like that. Hopefully gets your attention. You'll notice it's happening. What else? What other fun things do we want to show? The maps. This is going to be very similar if you saw the classic BattleTech. I'll say for my group, we're just using for hotspots. Again, this is inspired by Breaktime. Just modified it a little bit. Just as a quick recap, there are 8 board spots. 6 of them are the within this red here, the blue lines dividing. So that's down the middle. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's go ahead and show wooded. So I loaded these previews directly from, I think it's the Sarna page, the wiki. You'll see, again, Breaktime working its magic here. Gets these maps to build dynamically each time, just from giving it assets from MegaMech, telling it what the map is. In it, you associate an asset to each hex, and it builds it each time. So you can say, okay, now I want board 3 to go here. I'm going to say we've got, well, then give me Rolling Hills 2. And just like that, you now have 2 boards side by side. Now say you screwed up, you don't want that one. When it's not gray, right? So right now on board 3, I'm going to go to board 2, I'm going to right click. Bam. See you later. Say I want to go back to put this one over here. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Board 6, and give me grassland 3. You see it's building pretty quickly. All the assets are in this bag, right? So this thing doesn't work if that bag goes away. So keep these together. I suppose I could sync that into the table a little bit as well, but I think you get the idea. So I'll go ahead and delete these. And then let's move over to one of the other exciting things that we have here. This is the mech unit spawner with the AlphaStrike card spawner. You can, I would start always going up here and saying, you know, what am I looking for in terms of what era, and then what faction. I'll admit, I don't know a lot of the errors and what mech I have going in unless I look for it specifically in mess unit list. Sorry, thought there was music playing. Let's get some of the BattleTech Hairbrain Schemes music going. Shabam. So I almost always do all eras. You'll see that's where this icon comes up. But if you do know which one you're looking for, you know, Clan Invasion, super. I in general just know the mech I want, and I don't quite know if it's a special region or anything like that. So you can see every single faction is kind of unique here. But I like to do all in all. So I'm searching pretty much everything. And that's where this comes from as well. So then what I like to do is say I'm looking for the Marauder. It is case sensitive, it says it right there. So if you're searching and nothing's happening, you're probably using a little M. So I'm going to go ahead and say view by variant. Now it's going to spit out everything up against the MAR. You could probably just want to view by name. That gives you the different parent mechs, if you will. So I'll just say Marauder 2. And we'll pick one of these. I think I had a 4S. What was the one I had? That's a good question. I don't remember. Clearly it didn't leave a lasting impact on me, but we'll go with 4S. And then you pick, so yeah, I guess it's sequentially in steps here, right? First you're picking the variant. Next you're picking which mech do you want. So let's go with Snow Camo. So you're getting a preview way up here. And then you're going to pick your pilot skill. But you notice the second you pick the paint job or the which mini you want, this button turns green. And so you can either spawn just the model, which will give you a copy of that, or click the green button, and now you're seeing it's coming injected, right? And so I'm going to go ahead and take the card, make a copy. Oops, sorry. Slam it right on top of it. So let's look at what we got here. So with this Marauder, you see it spawned with A10 5S. Well, your A10 is your 10 armor. Your 5S is your internal structure. So it spawned with this kind of health bar and it's tracking that dynamically for you. So let's go ahead and just set up like a dummy map here, just so it seems a little more realistic. Alright, so I'll take this Marauder out. There we go. Say I'm over here on this side. My card over there just for referencing. So I would delete these and I would just use this, but that's me. If you want to do it your own way, that's fine too. Just trying to provide all the tools. Again, this is like something you could do that, highlight it. Now it's got this little green glow. I suppose on a wooded map that's a terrible idea, but let's change that up. Let's go red. There. Now he's a little easier to see. So up to you and your opponents if you want to do that or not, but say I put him here. Let's spawn. Let's give a big old Atlas. Let's just give an H2 the bull as head. And let's go ahead and change the skill rating. Notice your point value is changing here. So I'll just go ahead and say, here we go, spawn this guy. This will be my opponent. Again, I copy the card, stick it over there for my opponent. Let's say these guys will be Steiner Blue. This is their scout mech, right? I guess it'd be an Atlas 1 or just Atlas, but gonna do some good scouting today. All right, so we've got our mech set here again. So 10-8 matches the card. 10-8. Very good. So now let's talk about some of the injections. Man, I've totally gone off script and just stopped listening to my notes. That's fine. So let's look at some of the numpads here. If I click number 1, hovering over it, you'll see 1 is a walking dice. So now it automatically knows what dice is supposed to be here. Or I should say that. What his movement and this modifier is, his TMM. Let's turn around that. The pip card too, sorry. So, boom, now you get a little PIP preview. Right? Pretty snazzy. So now, yes, yeah, I threw these over here. I probably will never use it, but it's nice to have it. So you have these here, and notice it switches on highlight. So again, pressing 1 is doing the white walking dice. If I switch to 2, it just overwrites what you've got. So this is a red jumping dice. Now look at this guy. Well, what the heck? Why aren't there red dice going on? It's because the Atlas can't jump. However, the Marauder has jump jets, and you can jump. So because of that, you put a jumping dice on him, it gets accepted. To remove it, you can just click on top. What else we got? We got sprinting. So sprinting doesn't change their TMM, target movement modifier, so it stays to the 1 dice. And if they just stand completely still, that's a 4. You see everyone just kind of gets the 6 there to show no modifier. If you overheat, both of them can overheat here, so they could each take 1 point of heat. That's number 5. You can do it again. 2, 3. Notice the second you got to 3, -4 penalty for movement. And if we do 4, bam, it switches to shut down. If you right click, so it goes down, there you go. So different ways of incrementing and going back up and back down. Similarly, if you press 6, damage. Kind of looks like they're getting shot, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bam, 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 bam. 1, 2, 3. You'll notice when we get into internal structure, when we get halfway, so the next one should do it, boom, crippling damage triggers for you. So it just gives you a reminder if you do play a force withdrawal or things like that, or perhaps just a good time to hightail it the F out of there so you don't die. You can also click, see I just clicked on the S there. I'm going to jack it back up and say, well, no, he didn't actually take that damage. Also, this is how you remove crits, I guess you can see that now. Clicking on the bars brings up this interface. That's kind of what you're injecting them with. Speaking of that interface that showed how to remove criticals, that is what some of these up here are for. So you've got fire control crits, weapon crits, engine crits, movement crits, and then these ones are for vehicles. So let's go ahead and take 2 just to show an example. As he stays really far zoomed in all the way across. Boom. So you've got movement, you've got fire control. It says right on it, like +2 to hit. This one says half your movement. Something that is kind of cool. So if you drag over this guy, it gets hard to tell when they're highlighted, but I shift click, I'm now on the Atlas. Then I hover over another unit, this guy, the Marauder. I can make it seem like the Atlas is shooting him directly. Right, so when I hit 6 before, it's flying way over here from this bag off the table. If I pick this guy, hover over this guy, press 6, I can make it seem like he's shooting him. Now, there were people in my group who figured that out and just wanted nothing more than just be like pew 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 pew, right, and just shoot the crap out of the guy. Notice it came up here, crippled damage. So, boom. So he wins. Good for him. But yeah. So I think I'm distracting myself now. To remove crits, or remove all crits, previous crits. That's how. Kind of went over that a little bit already. What else? We went through the user interface, we went through spawning mechs, we went through the maps. cheat sheets. Oh, dice roller. I guess you kind of figured that out already. Just like you can see up here, short range, or got 4 dice, the 4 to match short range. You'll do out your wow, another crit. Good for me. Nice rolling. And you'll just kind of basically see, you know, based on that roll, you would say, I don't know, say target number is 3, modifier, give him 0, he didn't move. Yeah, just say he needed a 3. Then he would have hit all 4 times, right? And he would have gotten 1 crit roll. You could roll that again after. I think you get the gist. The idea here is really to set things up really quickly, get the games moving. Is there anything else I wanted to cover here? We did tokens, basic setup. We did that. Went through loading maps, spawning a force. You can kind of just do that repeatedly. You'll get the idea. I really think that's it. If there's any questions or feedback, or if something breaks, you know, please leave a comment or reach out to me. I'll see what I can do to fix it. Use the same name, Dunamis, with a 5 at the end on just about everything, mainly on Discord. So hope you guys have some fun playing BattleTech. I know we're about to get the new rule set. I know Mass Units is going down, but I'll keep this updated, and more BattleTech is more better. So thank you guys very much.